Being a Sigma male means walking your own path, but that path isn't always smooth. The world doesn't play fair. It's filled with people who will test you, deceive you, or try to take advantage of your independence. Intelligence alone won't protect you. If you don't have street smarts, you're an easy target. Street smarts aren't just about surviving danger, they're about reading people, spotting hidden agendas, and knowing when to stand firm or when to walk away. A Sigma male must master the unspoken rules of the world, not just the ones written in books. If you can't recognize manipulation, fake friendships, or power plays, someone else is already pulling your strings. The truth is, power belongs to those who see reality as it is, not as they wish it to be. The world respects those who move strategically, who understand human nature, and who can adapt without losing themselves. If you want to thrive, not just exist, you must sharpen your instincts and learn how to move with precision. This isn't about paranoia, it's about awareness. It's about knowing that the lone wolf is only strong if he's smart enough to see the traps before they close. So if you think being independent is enough, think again. Watch this video and learn why street smarts aren't optional for a Sigma. They're a necessity. Because in the real world, survival isn't about who's the smartest, it's about who's the sharpest. Number 1, understanding that survival isn't a one-time skill, it's a lifestyle. Survival isn't a lesson you learn once and move on from. It's not a skill you pick up and put away like an old book. It's a way of thinking, a way of moving, a way of seeing the world for what it truly is. Unforgiving, unpredictable, and full of people who will take advantage of anyone who isn't paying attention. A Sigma male who isn't street smart isn't independent. He's just an easy target waiting for the wrong person to come along. Every interaction is a test. Every situation has hidden rules. The people who survive and thrive aren't the ones who just react to life. They're the ones who anticipate, adapt, and stay ahead of the game. The world doesn't reward the smartest person in the room. It rewards the one who knows how to use their intelligence in the real world. You could have all the knowledge in the world, but if you can't read people, sense danger, or navigate social power plays, you'll always be one step behind. Street smarts means seeing the play before it happens. It means knowing when someone is lying to you, even if their words sound perfect. It means understanding that trust is earned, not given, and that survival is about more than just avoiding obvious threats. It's about never letting yourself be blindsided in the first place. There are no days off when it comes to awareness. The moment you let your guard down, you invite the very thing you've worked so hard to avoid. A Sigma male isn't paranoid, he's prepared. He doesn't live in fear, he lives with clarity. Every step is intentional, every move is calculated. That's what makes the difference between being truly free and just pretending to be. Because in the real world, the ones who survive aren't always the strongest or the smartest. They're the ones who know how to stay ahead no matter what. Number 2, intelligence alone won't save you. A sharp mind means nothing if you can't apply it in the real world. Intelligence might help you solve problems on paper, but survival isn't a written test. It's a constant, unpredictable game where the rules change without warning. You could have the highest IQ in the room, but if you don't know when someone is lying to you, when a deal is too good to be true, or when a situation is turning against you, your intelligence is wasted. The world doesn't care how many books you've read or how many facts you know. It only respects those who can think on their feet and act with precision. There's a reason why highly educated people still get scammed, manipulated, or trapped in situations they never saw coming. They assume intelligence is enough, that logic alone can protect them. But the real world isn't logical. It's filled with deception, hidden motives, and power dynamics that have nothing to do with reason. If you can't read the energy of a room, spot a subtle threat, or sense when someone is trying to play you, then all your intelligence does is make you an easy target for someone who can. Street smarts are the missing piece. They give you the ability to see beyond words, to understand what's not being said, to notice patterns before they become problems. They teach you how to react fast without being reckless, how to make decisions without second-guessing yourself. A Sigma male who relies only on intelligence will always be outmaneuvered by someone who knows how to manipulate people and situations. That's why survival isn't about being the smartest. It's about being sharp, aware, and adaptable. The world is full of predators, and they don't care how many degrees you have or how deep your knowledge goes. They care about one thing, whether or not you're an easy mark. If you can't see the game being played around you, you're already losing. Intelligence alone won't save you. Only those who combine it with real-world awareness ever truly stand a chance. Number 3. The streets teach ruthless efficiency. There's no room for hesitation when it comes to survival. The streets don't reward theory, they reward action. Thinking too much, waiting for the perfect moment, or trying to analyze every possible outcome will only slow you down. In the real world, decisions have to be made fast, and the people who hesitate end up at the mercy of those who don't. A Sigma male who lacks this instinct is vulnerable, not because he isn't intelligent, but because he isn't trained to move with ruthless efficiency. Every second wasted is an opportunity lost. The streets don't care about your potential or how well you understand a situation in theory. They care about results. If you can't react quickly, if you're always second-guessing yourself, or if you're too caught up in analyzing instead of acting, you will be outplayed. Power doesn't belong to those who know the most. It belongs to those who execute without hesitation. A street-smart Sigma sees what needs to be done and does it, without unnecessary delays or overthinking. Ruthless efficiency means cutting through distractions and focusing on what actually matters. It means knowing when to act, how to act, and not letting fear or doubt slow you down. It's about understanding that in high-stakes situations, overthinking is just another form of weakness. The strongest players in life are the ones who can assess a situation in seconds and move decisively without being paralyzed by the need for perfection. This isn't about being reckless. It's about being sharp, strategic, and precise. The streets teach you to trust your instincts, to read a situation instantly, and to know exactly when to strike and when to walk away. Those who hesitate, who wait for the right time, or who need everything to be perfectly lined up before making a move, always end up losing to those who don't. The Sigma who understands ruthless efficiency doesn't just survive, he dominates. Number 4. Walking alone comes with power, but it also comes with risk. When you don't belong to a group, no one is looking out for you. That makes you a prime target for people who thrive on deception, manipulators, scammers, and leeches who see independence as an opportunity. They know you have no backup, no blind loyalty to protect you, and they count on that. If you don't recognize a con before it unfolds, by the time you do, it's already too late. The most dangerous tricks aren't obvious. They don't come with flashing warning signs. The best con artists don't steal from you outright. They make you hand over what they want willingly. They disguise their schemes as opportunities, friendships, or even acts of kindness. They play on your logic, your emotions, your ambitions, whatever angle they can exploit. And if you think you're too smart to be played, you're already halfway into their trap. Confidence without awareness is how even the sharpest minds get taken for a ride. A Sigma male has to be able to see the play before it happens. The way someone talks, the way they frame a situation, the subtle inconsistencies in their words. These are the clues that separate the wise from the naive. It's not paranoia, it's pattern recognition. Every con follows a script, and the sooner you learn to recognize it, the less likely you are to fall for it. The goal isn't just to avoid getting played, it's to become untouchable. The lone wolf survives by being sharp, by staying a step ahead, by never letting someone else dictate the terms of engagement. The moment you let your guard down, assume good intentions without proof, or ignore small red flags, you open yourself up to being used. The strongest Sigma isn't just independent. He's untouchable because he sees every move before it's made. Number 5. Knowing when to blend and when to stand out. Power isn't just about being seen, it's about knowing when to be invisible. Some men crave attention, always needing to prove their worth, always making noise. But a Sigma male understands that not every battle is fought head-on, and not every moment requires dominance. Sometimes the smartest move is to disappear, to observe, to let others underestimate you while you gather information and position yourself for the right moment. The ability to blend in is just as powerful as the ability to stand out, and knowing when to do each is what separates the sharp from the reckless. Standing out at the wrong time attracts unnecessary enemies. It draws attention from those looking for a target, those who see strength as a challenge, and those who simply hate what they can't control. The world is filled with insecure people who feel threatened by silent confidence. And if you make yourself too visible too soon, you'll find yourself in battles that could have been avoided. A Sigma male doesn't waste energy on pointless conflicts. He chooses his battles carefully. He lets others reveal their intentions first, studying them before deciding whether they're worth engaging with. But when the time comes, when the moment is right, a Sigma knows how to make an impact without even trying. When he speaks, people listen because they weren't expecting him to. When he moves, it's with purpose, not for attention. There's nothing forced about his presence. He commands respect simply by how he carries himself. That's the advantage of knowing when to be silent and when to be seen. A Sigma who masters this balance controls the game. He walks unnoticed when needed, avoiding unnecessary threats, but when the moment demands it, he steps forward, making it clear that he was never just another face in the crowd. Those who fail to understand this live in constant conflict, always attracting the wrong kind of attention. But the one who knows how to move unseen and strike when it matters, he's the one who truly holds power. Number 6, knowing how to leverage favors without owing debts. Power isn't just about what you can do alone. It's about how well you can navigate the hidden exchanges that run the world. The people who survive and thrive aren't necessarily the strongest or the smartest. They're the ones who understand the delicate balance of favors, influence, and leverage. A Sigma male doesn't believe in unnecessary dependence, but he knows that in the right hands, a favor is more valuable than money. The trick is knowing how to get what you need without ending up in someone else's debt. Most people make the mistake of either giving too much or taking too much. They either overextend themselves, hoping to buy loyalty, or they take handouts without realizing they're now owned. Both paths lead to weakness. The street-smart Sigma knows that every favor should be a calculated move, never too much, never too little. It's about controlled reciprocity. If you help someone, make sure it's on your terms, in a way that doesn't give them power over you. And if you accept help, do it in a way that keeps you in control, ensuring you're never tied to someone else's agenda. The ones who play this game well never find themselves trapped. They understand that influence isn't about owing, it's about positioning. When a Sigma male does a favor, he doesn't make it feel like a debt. He makes it feel like an opportunity. And when he receives a favor, he ensures that it's framed as an exchange, not a handout. This keeps relationships balanced and prevents anyone from feeling like they have the upper hand over him. Those who don't understand this dynamic either end up being used or constantly owing people something. But the Sigma who masters the art of the favor moves through life without unnecessary obligations, without hidden chains holding him back. He remains independent, yet always in a position to get what he needs. That's real power, not just having resources, but knowing how to access them without ever being owned. Number 7, avoiding the pitfalls of naivety. The fastest way to lose in life is to assume that people mean what they say. The world isn't built on honesty, it's built on incentives, power plays, and hidden motives. Those who move through life with blind trust are the first ones to be manipulated, used, and discarded. The streets don't forgive those who fail to see reality for what it is, and neither does life. A Sigma male who understands this doesn't walk around with paranoia, but he does move with caution. He doesn't fall for words. He watches actions. He doesn't assume kindness is genuine. He questions why it's being shown. Naivety isn't just a weakness. It's an invitation for predators. People who lack awareness think they're being treated well because they're liked, but those with street smarts know better. Manipulators disguise their true intentions with charm. They offer help that comes with hidden strings. They pretend to be allies while slowly positioning themselves to take advantage. A Sigma who understands this doesn't reject all kindness, but he verifies it. He tests loyalty before trusting it. He knows that good intentions mean nothing if they aren't backed by consistent actions over time. This mindset isn't about being cold or closed off. It's about survival. The world is filled with people looking for an easy mark, and the moment you show that you're too trusting, you become a target. A Sigma male remains unpredictable because he never fully lets anyone into his inner circle unless they've proven themselves beyond doubt. He operates on proof, not promises. Those who fail to grasp this truth either learn it the hard way or spend their lives being played. But a Sigma who understands the cost of naivety never gets taken for a fool. He isn't cruel, but he isn't easy to fool either. He moves with awareness, sees the angles others miss, and ensures that no one ever gets close enough to exploit him. In a world full of hidden agendas, that's the only way to truly stay free. Number 8, the power of controlled misdirection. Power isn't always about direct conflict. Sometimes the most effective move is to let people think they have control while you quietly position yourself to win. The world is filled with people who thrive on ego, who need to feel dominant, and who crave the illusion of victory. A street-smart Sigma understands that feeding this illusion can be far more powerful than breaking it. He doesn't always resist or fight back immediately. Instead, he redirects, misleads, and lets others believe they are in control until the moment comes when he flips the game entirely in his favor. Controlled misdirection is not deception for the sake of it, it's strategy. It's knowing when to step back so your opponent overextends. It's recognizing that sometimes the best way to neutralize a threat is to let it believe it has already won. A fool fights every battle head-on, wasting energy on meaningless conflicts. A Sigma, on the other hand, plays the long game. He lets his enemies underestimate him, lets them feel comfortable, and then when they least expect it, he turns the tables. This isn't cowardice, it's discipline. A man who reacts emotionally, who always meets force with force, is easy to predict and easy to manipulate. But a man who controls his responses, who understands that misdirection can be a weapon, is dangerous in a way most people never see coming. He isn't concerned with immediate victories, he's focused on ultimate control. Most people want to prove themselves in the moment. A Sigma knows he has nothing to prove. He moves in silence, lets others believe what they want, and waits for the right opportunity to strike with precision. That's what makes him untouchable. The loudest ones get taken down first. The quiet ones, the ones who know when to disappear, when to mislead, and when to act, are the ones who always come out on top. Number 9, knowing when to be ruthless. There comes a point where kindness becomes a weakness, where giving people chances they don't deserve only drains your energy and puts you at risk. The world isn't built on fairness, and the sooner a Sigma male accepts this, the stronger he becomes. Mercy is a luxury that can only be afforded when there's no cost to it. But in high-stakes situations, showing mercy to the wrong person is the fastest way to lose control. A street-smart Sigma knows when to be ruthless, when to cut ties without hesitation, and when to make a decision that others are too afraid to make. Weak men hesitate. They worry about hurting feelings, about burning bridges, about how they'll be perceived. But strength isn't about being liked. It's about maintaining power over your own life. If someone is draining you, manipulating you, or holding you back, keeping them around out of guilt or obligation only makes you weaker. A Sigma doesn't let emotions cloud his judgment. He understands that walking away isn't cruel, it's necessary. He doesn't waste time explaining himself, doesn't beg for understanding. He simply moves on, leaving dead weight behind. Ruthlessness isn't about being heartless. It's about knowing your worth and refusing to let anyone take advantage of it. There are people who will test your limits, who will push to see how much they can get away with. The moment they realize you won't enforce your boundaries, they'll keep taking. The Sigma who is street smart never allows this. He sets a hard line, and when it's crossed, there's no second chances. This is what separates those who control their lives from those who are controlled by others. The ability to be ruthless when necessary ensures that a Sigma never becomes a pawn in someone else's game. It allows him to stay sharp, to stay in control, and to move forward without unnecessary baggage. The world doesn't reward those who hesitate. It rewards those who know when to walk away, when to cut people off, and when to make a move without looking back. Number 10, the mastery of resourcefulness. Independence is meaningless if you don't know how to survive on your own. A Sigma male doesn't have the safety net of a group, a system, or blind loyalty to fall back on. That means he can't afford to be dependent on people, on circumstances, or on luck. He has to be resourceful, knowing how to get what he needs in any situation, whether it's information, protection, or a way out when things go wrong. The ability to adapt and find solutions in real time is what separates those who thrive from those who collapse under pressure. Most people panic when their usual options disappear. They freeze when the rules change, when the easy path is blocked, or when they don't have someone to guide them. A Sigma, on the other hand, thrives in the unpredictable. He doesn't wait for a perfect solution, he creates one. He doesn't waste time complaining, he assesses, strategizes, and acts. If one door closes, he finds another way in. If no help is available, he finds a way to help himself. Resourcefulness isn't just about survival, it's about control. The more solutions you can create, the less power the world has over you. When you know how to access knowledge, how to protect yourself without relying on anyone, and how to navigate chaos without losing your edge, you become untouchable. The Sigma who masters this doesn't need to ask for permission or wait for opportunities. He takes what he needs without being reckless, and he moves without being stopped. This mindset is what allows him to stay ahead, to never be cornered, to never be at the mercy of anyone. The world is built to keep people dependent, to make them feel powerless without the system. A Sigma rejects that entirely. He isn't reckless, he's prepared. And when you're prepared, you don't need to hope for the best. You make the best happen no matter the situation. That's true resourcefulness, never being trapped, never being helpless, and never relying on anything you can't control. Number 11. How to survive in any environment. Survival isn't about strength alone, it's about adaptability. The world doesn't stay the same, and neither do the rules that run it. One moment, intelligence and skill might be enough. The next, it's about knowing the right people, saying the right words, or making the right move before anyone else sees it coming. A Sigma male understands that if he wants to thrive, he has to be fluid. If he's too rigid, too stuck in one way of thinking, he won't just struggle, he'll break when the game shifts. Most people are creatures of habit. They find comfort in routines, in familiar environments, in a world they believe is predictable. That's why they panic when things change, why they cling to outdated strategies, and why they can't function outside of their comfort zones. A Sigma doesn't have that weakness. He knows that the only constant in life is change, and instead of resisting it, he adapts. He can navigate elite boardrooms, understanding the unspoken power dynamics and silent deals that decide everything. At the same time, he can move through underground circles where strength, wit, and awareness are the only currencies that matter. He isn't defined by any one setting. He owns every space he walks into. The key is to observe before acting. The Sigma doesn't force himself into a situation, he studies it. He watches the players, learns the rules, and then bends them to his advantage. He doesn't rely on one skill or one mindset. He collects tools, builds experience, and makes himself impossible to pin down. This is what makes him dangerous. People who can only function in one type of environment are easy to predict and control. A Sigma is neither. He moves through any world, adjusts to any challenge, and never lets himself be trapped by a single way of thinking. The ones who refuse to adapt are the ones who get left behind. But a Sigma who can survive anywhere, he's the one who outlasts them all. The world isn't designed to be fair. It doesn't reward intelligence alone, nor does it favor those who play by the rules. Survival belongs to those who can read between the lines, anticipate danger, and move with precision. This is why every Sigma male must be street smart. Without it, he's just another intelligent man waiting to be outmaneuvered. Street smarts aren't about paranoia or aggression, they're about control. Control over your decisions, your surroundings, and the way people perceive you. It's about knowing when to engage and when to walk away, when to stand out and when to disappear. It's about understanding human nature at its rawest level, so you never find yourself blindsided, manipulated, or trapped. A Sigma who masters this doesn't just survive, he thrives untouchable and unshaken. The moment you accept that the world isn't as it seems, you start playing the game differently. You stop expecting fairness and start creating your own advantages. You stop relying on luck and start making moves with intent. That's the mindset that separates those who control their lives from those who are controlled. Being street smart isn't just a skill, it's a necessity. It's what keeps you ahead, what keeps you sharp, what ensures that no one ever dictates your path but you. Learn to see what others miss, move in ways they don't expect, and always stay 2 steps ahead, because in a world full of hidden agendas and silent battles, the Sigma who knows how to navigate the streets will always be the one who wins.